right. All right. I am live. Yay. Okay. This once a week thing, it's the consistency for me. Yeah. I'm excited. Okay, let me go ahead and share really briefly while there's no one here. Hello, say hi back. How you doing? I am literally just sharing to the groups right now, and I'm gonna get started pretty soon. How y'all doing today? Y'all ready? We talking about overcoming for the year. Who done overcame something? So I know I didn't overcome a lot, whole lot. Mhm, mhm. Okay, I think I'm done. Yes, I am done. Okay, ready. Before we get started, of course, I have to introduce myself. And if there is a lag or if you cannot hear me, please let me know now so I can fix it. And this light is just it's not giving what it's supposed to have gave. That's all. You know, I look like I got half my eyebrows, and that's crazy to me. You know. See, I have eyebrows. Okay. All right. For those of you who do not know me, I am Shabreon Howard, aka Shabreon the Advocate, aka Chef Shay Made It. Yeah, I have a lot of AKAs, so I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm a filmmaker, photographer, chef, graphic designer, uh, yeah, author. Listen, I do a lot. I just feel like I'm an all around creative being, and I use my advocacy and awareness to sickle cell disease as well as kidney disease, kidney failure, and mental health issues. Okay. Also, I am the daughter of a sickle cell patient. My mother passed away from complications of sickle cell when she was 25 and I was 7. And I am also the mother of a beautiful 10, I almost said she was 8. She's 10, 10-year-old sickle cell trait warrior. She is also a little mini advocate herself. She is the host of the Village Kids Sickle Cell Kid Support Group. Listen, hey, it's been a while. I'm trying to remember all this stuff. I'm going to absolutely continue with the Village Kids. It has been a very hectic, I would say a couple of months, but it's been a little longer than that, As much as I want to be consistent and do things, we don't always get what we want, do we? Between working full time, taking care of my health full time, and my child full time, it's a little crazy. It's a little wild. But we're gonna get into that later. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. What are we here for? If you happen to come across, you know, the title, we're basically talking about how, in what ways we've overcome this year, what trials we've had, what triumphs we've had, to all culminate to this point right here. The last day of the year, the literal last day of the year. Okay? So I'm super excited because this year has been wild. If I can just give a word for the year, it would be wild. It'd be wild. Um, yeah. I can think some other words, but we're gonna stick with wild. That was definitely the one that stood out the most. So again, this is an interactive live, meaning if you're watching, feel free to comment if you would like to come on and say some words, talk about your year, talk about the things that you've overcome, or even if you just want to talk about your victories. If you don't want to talk about what you've overcome and you just want to say, you know what, I did this, and this year, and you want to talk about it, listen, that's what we're here for today, okay? Hey, Stacy, how you doing, love? So again, feel free to join or to comment, and I will answer back. I promise, because I know sometimes I don't know the word for it. I do, but we're not gonna say it. Get a little, let's just say, preoccupied with what I'm talking about. So I am also waiting for my co-host for today. It's going to be an amazing talk. I know I have a lot of things to get off of my chest. Listen, okay? This year has been wow. Where do I start? Well, let's start with the obvious. I moved this year. I moved from El Paso, Texas to Las Vegas, Nevada. So that was pretty different. It took a lot of courage to do that. And I feel like it was easier the second time around because I did move from California to El Paso and I lived there for 5 years. And then I was in El Paso and I was like, you know what? It's time to go. It's time to get up out of here. And it was easier internally, if that makes sense. Like, you have to really like face a few things to move across the state. And then there is, I'm not gonna lie, there is a huge fear you have because you're moving to an unknown place. Things are different. You don't know you know, how things are going to happen. You don't know, especially for myself, having sickle cell, and kidney disease. You don't know how you're going to be treated in the hospitals. And one of the main reasons that I left El Paso was because of the lack of good care. because they played with my life one too many times. And one thing I don't play about is my life. Okay, I'm here for the long haul. So if I feel like somebody's putting that in jeopardy, I'm gonna do what I got to do every time, every single time. Okay. So yes, I've already talked about my why I left and what I was going through living in El Paso. The racism, the mistreatment. I've talked about all that. So I'm not going to go into too much details when it comes to my move, except for to say specifically, like, this time around was different in the sense of when I moved to El Paso, I moved to El Paso with one plastic bin and two suitcases. And I caught the bus with my daughter from California to El Paso. This time, I had a beautiful, wonderful friend come and help us drive from El Paso to Nevada. Listen, okay, that was, I have anxiety and through the roof. It was through the roof, baby, because I don't like driving I don't even like riding on the freeway often. I have this really bad anxiety about it. I have like literally my whole life. So yeah, it was not really that fun. People like road trip. Oh my God, we had so much fun. Like, I would have liked to feel like that, but it was something I overcame. That was something I definitely overcame. Being in the truck, in the moving truck, all that time, and trying not to freak out, because if I freak out, my daughter freaks out, and then everything goes to hell. So I had to put on my brave face and just keep it moving. So that was definitely something I overcame. Coming here to a new city, a new state, just reestablishing myself. That was definitely difficult, especially when you have sickle cell saying, "Hey, how you doing? I would like to come and mess everything up for a little while." Yeah. So I think about a little over a month, like a month and a half into me being here, I got really sick while I tried to establish my health care here. My body was like, and I'm done. And scene. Let's go ahead and hit up the hospital while you at it. So I went to a hospital and I was told, hey, you're in kidney failure. You need dialysis. And we have to start it, and you have to be on dialysis 3 times a week and all these lovely things. And we know that you just moved here. But hey, you want to live, don't you? So long story short, that is how I ended up on dialysis. I already had kidney problems prior to that, but it was a long time coming where I had done a lot of things to try to prevent myself from needing to be dialysis dependent. And I don't want to say that I failed, because I didn't fail. I want to say that my body was a hard transition from one place to another when I was in such a very delicate spot with moving and my health care and trying to reestablish everything. So I would say that. And when I first started dialysis, I'm not going to lie. Listen, I thought that was it. That was the end. My mother, she also had kidney disease, kidney failure. She also was on dialysis before she passed away. So I was drawing a lot of similarities to my mother and her life with sickle cell versus realizing my life and her life are two totally different lives, and what necessarily um, ultimately claimed her life doesn't have to be the same outcome for me. So it took a lot of mental fight, a lot of realizing that I'm a lot stronger than my circumstances, a lot of prayer, a lot of God, a lot of me saying, you know what, I done fought this hard for this long. I'd be danged, okay, if I let kidney disease come and be like, oh, this your life? Nah, I wasn't gonna have that. So, and I'm still not having it. So I just had to do a lot of self-reflecting. I had to do a lot of just speaking to people in my life that know me truly and know how strong I am and how hard I fight. And I just needed reminders. Because sometimes, you just need those reminders that say, do you know who you are? What she say in Black Panther? Show them who you are. That that's that's the type of people I have in my life that'll remind me and tell me, listen, it's time to get it. You got to stand up, stay strong. And when I was too, I don't want to say weak, but afraid to be strong for myself, I looked at my daughter. I looked at how strong she was being, because for her to be at this age, I know that she doesn't quite grasp the gravity of how detrimental, like, my life, like that very delicate moment I was in with my kidneys and dialysis. But even then, like, I feel like she was still very, very strong. Even now, like, she's very strong. My daughter's the type of person, she's very solution based. So she's like, okay, what we got to do? How we got to, what are we eating? What's the diet? And she really does stay on top of things, even when, because I'm not going to lie, I hate taking medicine. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I've always hated it. I'm never going to like it. Listen, if they ever tell you I'm addicted to something, they lie. Because I gotta, like, make myself take medicine when I don't feel good, type person. So my daughter is very, like, on top of things. If a couple of days go by and she's like, have you taken your medicine? It's like, oh yeah. Or she won't do that. She won't be as direct. Well, she's very passive aggressive too. So she'll just come and sit the medicine down right in front of me with some water, like, here you go. I got it for you. There you go. Go ahead and take it. It's like, well, thank you. So I'm very blessed to have my daughter in my life and to have her such a strong force of someone who wants to see me be as healthy as possible. And she's willing to, you know, do what she needs to do, even when she sees me lacking. She'll stand in and be like, and you cannot tell this lady, she is not my caretaker, okay? I dare one of y'all to tell her that she's not my caretaker. I can't even say it. I'm scared to say it. Okay? She gets real when it comes to that word. So ultimately, you know, just being grateful that I do have my daughter for being the reason that I fight so hard. Um, what else have I overcome? Oh, I've overcome the ability to go and get back and forth to dialysis because my insurance stopped my trips. So, and I know if you know me, you've probably seen it on my page, but yeah, they've stopped my trips for dialysis. And for the past like 2.5 months, I've had to pay out of pocket Ubers to get back and forth to dialysis 3 times a week, which is roughly $120 a week. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes 120 flat. Sometimes it's more than that. And paying for those things was coming out of bill money, rent money, things that I needed to take care of, even food at times. Like I've had to decide, okay, am I going to buy food for me and my child, or am I going to get back and forth to dialysis? It's literally that deep. And although I've changed my insurance and it changes over tomorrow, thank goodness, because these past couple of months, baby, ooh, it was getting me. It was them Uber. Let me tell you something. It was definitely hitting me. It was hitting my pockets and my heart. So yes, that is something that I can say I've overcome, because this is like the last day that I have to endure having to come out of pocket to get to dialysis, which is very, it can be an issue sometimes. But ultimately, I saw it as this, like, I have to live, and I can't live without dialysis. I'm going to end up in the hospital anyway, which is going to make me miss work. Missing work will subtract from my paycheck and my funds anyway. So ultimately, just go ahead and bite that bullet and pay them Ubers. And I prayed over it. Oh my goodness, the type of phone calls and hours of manpower and hours of me being on the phone with my advocate and us trying to find some other way possible. And there was none. The only option I had was the last, at the end of November, I was able to change my insurance to one that offered unlimited rides, except it would not switch over until January 1st. And it was like, okay, well, that's something, But I made it. I made it through. And as hard and as stressful as it was for me, I never faltered. I never gave up. I never thought, oh, this is it. I'm just going to have to, sometimes just like, listen, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm done. I ain't got it no more. I had a few of those moments where I felt like it, but I didn't. I did not do that. And I'm grateful that I didn't, because I'm here. I'm happy. I feel good. And that's what it's all about, ultimately. Right? And so that was something I definitely had to overcome this year. Let's see. Let's go on to accomplishments. Somebody in the comments, let me know what you had to overcome this year before we move on to accomplishments. Because I can go more in detail about things, but I'm going to, I would rather talk about the positive things for right now. Otherwise, I'm still going to have a good time with y'all here. Okay? Let's see. What have I overcome this year? I'm sorry. What have I accomplished? What is my triumphs? When you have to think back and you're like, wow, the list is long, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. It is. It is. The fact that I even moved here and I had everything I needed May not have had everything I wanted, but I had everything I needed when I moved here. That is an accomplishment. The fact that I've, still been able to maintain a lifestyle for me and my child, regardless of our circumstances and situations, blessing, right? The fact that I applied for quite a few poetry contests and I was chosen to be published in a poetry book, anthology book, with this publishing company. Blessing, right? Triumph. Because yes, I have self-published quite a few of my works, but it's different when you send something somewhere and they're like, "Oh, this is great. We're gonna publish this." Yeah, then you own something, right? Let's see, what else have I accomplished this year? I really should start writing this stuff down because I feel like I'm always so much on go that I don't really take the time to bask in the things that I accomplish. So sometimes I'll forget stuff. Like I literally was like, did I do that? Did I? People will be like, oh, what you did on here. And I'm like, I did that? Like, oh, thank you. Because I forget, Um, I accomplished putting together a SCD artistic collective. I accomplished publishing my first issue of my magazine. Completed. Okay. Yes, I did. All the graphics, done by moi. Most of the articles, a lot of it was me. And that's something that I'm really proud of because I've been working on that for a while. Let's see, what else? He. Excuse me. I can say for me, this is one of the biggest accomplishments for me. I'm no longer in chronic pain every single day like I was before I moved from Texas. I'm no longer in acute pain every week or other week like I was when I lived in Texas. That right there, listen, if I didn't do nothing else this year, if nothing else was done, that right there was it. That's all I could have ever asked for. So I'm proud about that. I'm happy about that. And I'm happy that I have the tools I need to be successful in my life and lifestyle with sickle cell. Okay. That was a little bar right there. Okay. What else did I publish a book this year? No, that was last year. Okay. What else did I do? I was supposed to publish books this year, but I have something else that I'm working on that's bigger that took precedence over me publishing. So I can't explain what's going on right now. All I can say is keep me in your prayers and well wishes. Okay? Because what I'm doing, when the dream scares you, you know you own something. I'm just gonna put it like that. Okay? And that's something. I've done it scared. I've done it scared. Fearful. With that fear in me, that oh my God, the unknown, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know all these other things, all these unknown variables. that would usually keep me stagnant and stuck has not done that. I've walked so boldly and courageously into what I feel like the transitional next stage of my life. Okay? Yeah, I'll put it like that. Um, hmm. Okay. What else? What is something I can talk about that I've done? um. Okay. Hmm. Oh. Okay. I have a big one. I well, I had two jobs this year. I had a job working with Cutco, which was pretty cool, and I was able to, you know, talk to people I knew, people I didn't know, just really put myself out there more than normal. And I feel like it really opened up the it opened me up for to receive the opportunity that I have now where I'm working now. And that is what is it? I work for a bank. I can't be too specific because it's a bank, you know. So I can't, be like, hey, I work for this bank and I'm not doing that. But I can say I do work for a bank and I truly love my job. Um, they work me like I'm crazy. They really do. They really do. You guys know I don't see any of these comments. I'm so glad I clicked on this. Thank you. Let me see. Where is okay, let me post. I didn't know that it doesn't look like the comment where I pasted the link to join is even on here. So let me do that. But yeah, I feel like that was really like something different. I get to talk to people every day, every single day. Now I'm not gonna lie because I I'm an extroverted introvert. And what that means is I um I know how to be the life of the party. I can talk to people. I'm very, outgoing when I want to be, but I need time to recharge. I need to recharge. It's not debatable. It's not a question. It's not an if and or but. It's literally, hey, listen. I gotta recharge. So with that being said, you know, it's I feel like that's the challenge for me is the fact that I don't really have a whole lot of time to recharge because I'm often speaking single day. And then I go to dialysis for 3 times a week where I go and I still talk to people, all the people there, the nurses and everything. So, and I know they kind of felt like, because when I go, I'm usually this. I'm vibrant, I'm happy, I'm cheerful, making jokes. But the last time I went, I was like, listen, I don't just don't. I was like, I don't want to be rude, but not today. So, and it gets like that sometimes. And sometimes you truly just have to be honest with yourself and with other people and let them know, listen, it's nothing against you. It ain't even about you. Right now, I promise you it ain't about you. It's about me. And I really don't want to talk to nobody right now. And that's okay, you know? So I feel like that's, where the challenge is, just having to be that person that speaks to people all the time and don't have a lot of time for recharging. So, and that's why I fell off with my consistency on doing lives too, because it was like I didn't feel like talking. I was not in the talking mood. I was like, who talking? Not me. Oh, look, it took me to scratch my hair to be like, oh, I cut my hair this year too. You can't really see, but I cut it. I'm so nervous because I thought I would hate like having short hair because my entire life, I've had long hair. Even when my hair fell out in the back when I took the hydroxyurea, like I still had long hair on the top of my head. So I God, I've never for how am I going to take it? I'm so happy. Now I'm still working on it. Like it is curly, and it just does what it want to do. And at this point, I used to hate that about my hair, but now I'm just like, hey, listen, if that's what you want. I will say this, I probably should not have done it in the winter because now I wear more wigs because it's cold and I don't want sickle cell to be like, oh, you ain't used to having no hair. It will do that. So I probably should have waited to the spring or something, but that's okay. I'm fine. It's fine. I just wear wigs or scarves or whatever I feel like doing that day to make sure I keep my head warm. And Jen, if you're still here, I just want to say you can get there one day. If you feel like you want to live your life without being in pain every day, it's possible. It's not impossible. You can. I know sometimes dealing with sickle cell, it can feel impossible. Trust me, I know. Because I went from being in pain every day. I went from, if I'm not having acute pain, it's chronic pain. And all these things, that was going on. But look at me now. I hate to I don't want to keep because that's how it gets you when you be like, yeah, I ain't got sick and I ain't been in a lot of pain, and then sickle cell be in the background like, you haven't, huh? I ain't really done nothing to you, huh? Got it. Hold my beer. Like, whoa, nobody asked you to come. No. So I will say that, but you are definitely, there is nothing special about me when it concerns just choosing to live healthier, choosing to do things that help me be healthier, help me stay away from pain meds, because I'm telling you, that pain med cycle is a nasty loop. It is a nasty loop. You will be stuck in that loop over and over, that pain cycle, because those pills, they they there when you need them, but they also cause a lot of different side effects and effects that in the long run is not helpful. So ultimately, I tried my best to stay away from them. I could not really tell you the last time I took medicine. Like, I had minor pain crisis in my back probably a month ago, something like that. But I just, rested as much as possible, stayed as hydrated as possible, and it was gone within a week. Like a full week of just, making sure I didn't, skate over that line and end up in nobody's hospital. Because I will say, if only I can get my blood to participate and I don't need to go to the hospital for that. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, I have worked on that and it has been a very uphill battle. But I feel like for the most part, the momentum is steady building, where taking the chlorophyll drops really helped me in my hemoglobin. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anybody got some questions? Anybody got some declarations? Anybody got something they want to say? You don't have to come on, but I would like y'all to, say a couple things. Like I said, I didn't see all the comments until I actually went from my phone and saw the comments and everything. But I see them now. So please feel free to let me know what you've overcome this year. Feel free to let me know what you have accomplished this year. Because I would like to congratulate you, you know? Um, what else? First of all, single parenthood is hard, okay? It's one of the hardest hoods, one of the most ghetto hoods I ever lived in my life. Next to adulthood, single parenthood, equally ghetto and difficult. Okay? Don't recommend. Now, let me stop. It's just things they don't tell you. When they be like, have kids, they say. It'll be great, they say. Listen, without a strong and solid support system, it's very difficult, very, very difficult. Even for the strongest person, even for the person who has it all together, it can be very hard to maintain and manage being a single parent. I can honestly say I'm blessed, I'm grateful, I'm thankful that my daughter, she doesn't know what it feels like to need for anything. She doesn't know what it feels like to not have food. She doesn't know what it feels like to not have electricity, certain things. She's very comfortable. And I know that's a blessing because I know that there are people struggling right now for those things, And don't get me wrong, I never said I didn't struggle. Okay? Never said it. All I said was that she me on the other hand, sometimes I be looking like Ricky off was it what's that movie? Boys in the Hood. When he got shot, that be me. Bills, rent, everything. Mm-hmm. Ricky! Yep. Check on her. She okay? Yes, yes. Ultimately, that is my life sometimes. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. Having my daughter, I know, is the reason why I'm still here and why I fight. Why would that word not come out right? Fight so hard. um, so I would never, just not realize the blessing that I have in being a parent, being a single parent at that. But is it hard? Yes. And I think one of the hardest issues I have, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to have a real transparent moment right here, right now. Okay? It's a few things that is harder than others. But I want to say the fact that I don't have my parents and grandparents here anymore as a solid support system can be very hard for me sometimes, especially around the holidays, especially when, I get sick. Um, but ultimately, it's okay. I feel like some of it is just, knowing where to place people in your life, and some of it is when a person says they'll be there for you. Test that. Not to say test the person, but I'm the type of person, if you're like, oh yeah, I got you, I'm gonna be there for you, I'm gonna help you. Okay. Actions. I don't care about words. Words mean nothing to me. Somebody could tell me right now everything they think I want to hear, and 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna believe it. I'm never gonna believe it until I see it. I'm sorry. So it doesn't really matter how long I've known a person, how much I love a person. I'm not gonna mess with that person I'm such an understanding person that I can take a person's no and I won't feel no type of way about it. I actually would be happy that I hear a no. Let me tell you why I said that. I would rather someone tell me no than to tell me yes, or oh, I can do it, or I can help you, whatever the case is, and they don't follow through, because that's going to piss me off more than if you just said no from starting on a person. I'm very independent. Some would say hyper independent. And even with my illness, I maintain a relatively high level of independence. So when, especially if I come and ask, because I have this thing, I'm really working on my pride. Me asking for something is big. I want y'all to understand that. I don't ask people for nothing. I'm going to do everything I can do, then some. Then I'm going to lean on God because I don't like depending on people. And I've worked on that over the years. I'm still working on that within myself. So that's why it's like I can truly take a person's no and not feel no type of way about it. Like I would rather hear a no. I don't even know how to I'm so serious. Like it it really I appreciate a person who can say no, and it's okay to say no, you know? What pisses me off and irritates me is when somebody don't say no and they know that it was no from the get-go. That's kind of weird, honestly. And if you do that, just say no. Okay? It's what is the worst that could happen? A no is a no, right? It's nothing crazy. It's not gonna you're you're not gonna blow up. You're not gonna blow up if someone tells you no, if you hear the word no. if you say the word no, listen, I love saying no. Whenever I get the opportunity to say no, you hear me? It's a no. It's a no for me. Okay? Ain't that right, friend?
Why y'all with it?
What's good? How are you? How the hell are you?
I'm alright. Just multitask. That's all.
Yeah,
Multitask.
you're about an hour late. No big deal. Just
Wait a
live
minute.
for about an hour.
I thought you just sent me this link now. Come on.
I sent that link 50 minutes ago.
Not to my phone.
I was like,
Somebody else phone.
I was like, I'm gonna go live. Just join when you ready. It took
Oh,
you an hour to be ready.
but don't tell me when you're ready. You should be more specific. Yeah, you said when you're ready. That was when I was ready. Me and my daughter had to play the. We was having some Oculus time.
Okay.
Yeah, time with the
Hey,
kids.
I feel you. I understand. I do. So you want to introduce yourself to the people? I done already. I feel like I said everything I need to say a little bit.
How everybody doing? My name is Bruce Leroy from Chicago, Illinois. Uh, y'all see the name already. Uh, yeah, I'm a karate guy from Chicago, Illinois. Let's proceed. That's all they need to know.
Karate, really?
I was just telling them.
Okay. Okay. So, what are some things you've overcome this year, Bruce Leroy?
uh, uh, overcome? Man, let me tell you, I overcame this
Mm-hmm.
one medication. Yeah, that's what I overcame. Shit, this one medication, Oxbrighter. That was an overcome. Yeah, no more, no
Okay.
more, no more medications for me. I tried. None of them is for me. Yeah, I tried them. I'm all right. No more, nothing. I ain't willing. I'm not open to nothing else. Yeah, whatever the doctor talking about, I ain't open to that. I ain't open to nothing. So
I hear
that's a
you.
that's a thing for me because I never really took it already, but I would I would try to take different things based off of they wanted my daughter to take them.
Mm-hmm.
Now now that I think she got her set one and I got my set one, which is nothing. Yeah, I ain't gonna take nothing. I'm cool. Folic acid and uh yeah, I'm cool with that. Folic acid and vitamin D or whatever. Yeah, I'm cool with that type of shit. But all that stuff that they offer, I'm not ever taking none of that again.
Okay.
So
I understand. Trust me. We had some of the same side effects, and I didn't realize it until we were live one day. So,
yeah,
yeah.
and then like them companies, man, they don't really be wanting you to like talk about some of that stuff. Oh man, I wonder if I got that video for you too. Oh, people didn't say it's video, right? I had started recording, but I was talking to the dude, and I don't know if he was through like insurance or whatever he was through. But homie started asking me like, how much would I be willing to pay for, like, so like when you go to your doctor is your team, but then like when you go to the ER, it's their team. Like, or when you get admitted, right, it's their team.
Mhm.
That's whoever on call basically. So they
Mhm.
asked like, how much
Right.
would you be willing? The question was, how much would you be willing to pay? Like, this was a real question. How much would you be willing to pay? um, but your team versus, the team that's already on call, like on staff. And I was like, I guess that, like the obvious question for me, I don't know about nobody. I don't know if anybody else is a scholar like myself, but the obvious answer for me is like, I guess that depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, if I'm on my deathbed, then I'll pay whatever in the bank account. But if it's a common cold, nothing. So, if it's just a regular crisis, then nothing. Like, but to even ask that to me was crazy. Like, for them to even be considering that as a question is wow. So you're asking me how much am I willing to pay for the best care? Is basically what you're saying. How much are you willing to pay for the best
Yeah.
care? Because we know that the best care come from the ones that already know us. And that was like, man.
Instead of
Even
training their medical professionals on having sympathy, empathy, and compassion, and training them on how to properly treat sickle cell. No. They want you to pay to have your team of people come in.
even when
Yeah,
I
that
even
sounds all right.
even when I talk to the people like that, because when they call from the CVS specialty. Even when I talk to those people and I'm telling them all of the stuff that went wrong, they kept on saying like, "Oh yeah, that was probably just with you," because they don't want to tell everybody else what's going on. Like they don't want to tell that part. They don't want to tell, they don't want to add side effects. Basically, is what I'm saying. They don't
Mm-hmm.
want to add side effects to it. Like, but it's crazy how these people be.
Now I
It's
get it.
wild.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Until you John Q one of their asses, then they'll understand then.
Master, not John Q. Not John
John
Q.
Q. You hit him with the John Q, they gonna be like, man, get this man some talk about how much was you willing to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh my
all right,
gosh.
y'all keep on playing. Y'all keep playing with people.
Like,
And
all right,
people
stay right
help.
here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let me go to my car real quick.
I'll be right back. Don't move. I'll be right back.
Yeah, they get it. They understand.
We have a comment from Janelle McLean who says, I've accomplished that I have to start making new changes this year in order to stay healthy. That's awesome. Make sure, listen, write your plan of action down. Look at it every day. Write different recipes down, healthy recipes. Write motivational quotes to help you through the harder days where you just want to mess around and find out because it happens. Sometimes you be like, I know damn well I'm not supposed to be eating this today. I know I'm already not feeling good and I'm eating McDonald's. I don't know about y'all, but McDonald's be like, yo, go ahead and get on sick. Go ahead and get on sick. I don't eat that often. And even then, it's like I've been wanting a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. And I rarely do I ever eat their double cheeseburger. And I still have yet to get one. Kudos to me. Okay.
That's what's up.
That's right there.
I can't wait.
That's
I
all
can't
it's
wait.
about is just saying no.
Yeah, I can't wait till everybody in the
Huh?
world stop eating McDonald's. I said I can't wait till everybody stop eating
Good luck
McDonald's.
with that one.
I know. Yeah, I know, man. I know.
Yeah. Like they're it's literally a McDonald's right down the street from my house. Like I was literally right across the street yesterday, and before I left my house, I was like, "Damn, I know I'm gonna be across the street from McDonald's. Maybe I should just go to McDonald's, get my cheeseburger. I've been wanting for some reason, needing to taste a cheeseburger." And I forget what I was thinking about, but something just went in my head. Like your energy has been low. There's no nutritional value to McDonald's at all. Like you just wasting money at this point if you do that. And that's how I talk myself out of it. You know? So that was definitely a blessing. I don't even think that pickles got nutritional value. I don't even think the ketchup, nothing.
Yeah,
Just
I had stopped like me and my kids from eating it like years ago, right? And I remember it was a time right where my daughter, she was young, she was still in like car seat type stuff in the back seat and car seat type deal. Um and I pull up, we meet up with me and my kids met at like a gas station, and I put up, and she was chewing on something, it was hard or whatever, right? So I looked, you know what I'm saying, and it was a fry, but it was, you can hear it. You can hear her like crunching it, right? I spaz out. I spaz out naturally because in my head, you done gave, I specifically said like we're not eating that. Like I don't want her eating that. And so I kind of spazzed out, but to come to find out it wasn't what I thought it was. What it was she found it in the seat, but it still looked decent enough to the point where she thought it was just a fry. Saying so, but she found it. It was like in between the seat, and that's what she was crunching on. She was like, "I hadn't bought McDonald's, and I don't know how long." But the whole time, it was just a stale fry that was up under there that she was crunching on. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I caught her eating it. Shoot.
the fact that their food does not decompose is wild. What you think it's doing in your body?
Yeah.
Okay, just saying.
And
They
that's
food
how I
just
started looking at a lot of stuff like steaks and all that. That's how I started looking at. I think that was the hardest thing for me was the was steak because I like pepper steak, and the hardest thing for me was like ribs because I like ribs. But those was the hardest two things really to kind of stop. But other than that, like pork in itself, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't as hard as like
right.
it wasn't that hard. Like people be going crazy over bacon. Like that wasn't the bacon wasn't hard.
I ain't gonna lie, bacon got me in a chokehold. Like I don't eat it often, but every so often I'll buy some bacon and be like, okay. When I was younger, my favorite food used to be smothered pork chops. I can't tell you the last time I had a smothered pork chop. Like
And so look, and so being
I
that you ain't
probably
ate
buy
it, so
pork maybe.
right?
Hmm?
I think we got a
No, I
delay.
was just gonna say I probably buy pork maybe like once every 8 months, if that, close to a year type, once a year. And like in my head, I'm like, why don't I just like stop altogether because I don't eat it? But like every now and a blue moon, I might be like, you know what? It's been a very long time, and I might get some ribs, or I might get some pork chops or something. But
I just I just think a lot of stuff be mental.
it is because
I know
because
for me it is because I'm a very like visual and texture type of it either. Like if it got some
Mm-hmm.
crazy texture to it, I'm out. Like okra and all that, I can't eat that. I'm not putting no slimy stuff all in my mouth. Yeah, I'm all right. I don't want that. Like, not eating
I feel you on that. I do. I feel like beef too. So honestly, for like I want to say like a good year and a half, I stopped eating pork. I stopped eating beef. I stopped eating everything. And well, the only thing I ate was like chicken, turkey, and fish,
that. Yeah, that's what
and
I ate
barely
right there.
turkey. And then I don't even remember what made me fall off. I don't. It was probably steak though, because I'm not gonna lie, steak got me in a chokehold. I'm not gonna lie to you. Steak just be like, ooh, when it's because it's like because I know how to cook them so well. It's just so hard to just be like, I don't need that. No, I don't buy it like I used to. No, because there was a time where you couldn't go in my freezer and you wouldn't see a steak or two or three.
Nope. Note to self: don't eat Shay steak.
But now I got Beyond Steak up in there. Right now, I got
don't,
some Beyond Steak.
don't let Shay
That's
send
a
you
fact.
back.
Them porterhouse. I ain't gonna lie. Before I really truly give up steak, I have never had a tomahawk steak, so I have to have one before I do. Like
So,
just because I like trying new things, and I've never had one.
so like
You said what?
I would say so like people make like different things with mushroom, that portobello whatever mushroom. You ever had that? Like the
Mm-hmm.
whole when the substitute stuff? You ever?
Yeah, yeah. I've done all sorts of things with mushrooms, with all kind tofu.
What?
Just
Yeah.
if you could think about an alternative, because you got to think about it. I'm literally half vegetarian, so that means because I don't say I'm full vegetarian because I still eat meat sometimes, but for the most part, I have a very meatless diet, like to the point where when I was in dialysis, they were like, "Okay, your protein is low. What you doing or what you not doing?" It's like, okay, because I was like not eating a lot of eggs. I wasn't, and they were like, "Okay, you need to something. You gotta do something." Hi there.
What
Okay. So I started eating more eggs and stuff and tuna, and I just increased my protein in my diet a little bit more because it was necessary for my kidneys. I guess I had a little overdid it a little bit. I was like, well, damn. For me, it's all about balance. It really is. Like even with the whole diet that they give me for dialysis, first of all, it's contradictory to a sickle cell diet. If you want to be healthy with sickle cell,
so
it don't even match. It don't match it in order to be healthy with your sickle cell. So it's
so
very like complex, but
huh?
hmm,
No, I'm listening.
I was just gonna say I have to be very like balanced in my diet. Like I can't say, oh, I'm just gonna eat nothing but salads and this and that to help my sickle cell. because then I'm harming my kidneys. So I have to like really balance it out, unfortunately.
I
Now, what you
don't
were
eat
gonna say?
a lot of the stuff that you named. Like I don't eat a lot of that. Like I don't eat eggs. I don't drink milk. Like none of that shit. Like
I don't drink milk
I
either.
don't know. I think that's why I can't pick up no weight because the protein, like the lack in protein.
Yeah, I feel you. Because for a minute it was kind of hard for me. Like, then I was like, okay, at least I could eat eggs every morning. And I did that for like probably a month and a half. And now it's a struggle for me because I'm not really you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I got burnt out on them because I don't eat them like that. So I know they're going to be like, oh, your protein went back because it went up. And I was like, cool. And I kind of just fell back from the eggs and stuff again. And I know they probably gonna hit me with the, what happened? Like, listen, hey, we gonna have to figure something out because these eggs every day is crazy. That's wild. But I don't drink milk. I try to stay away that's going to cause mucus or inflammation um, in my body, or at least an
You ever,
excess of it.
you ever tried cloves?
Now, our cloves.
Yeah, cloves.
That's what you
Like
said.
cloves in your tea or something like that.
Yeah, I have the actual cloves. And that's one thing I do too. I every time I cook something, you're never gonna taste anything with turmeric in it. I've put ginger or both. I've put something that's anti-inflammatory properties because I know that that's what I need because I don't have the luxury of taking anti-inflammatory medicine anymore. So I have to supplement it some sort of way, you know? So what have you
Yeah.
accomplished this year, Master? What is something that you've accomplished, that you've triumphed?
Uh, the stock of my penguins went up. That's accomplishment for me. As far as like
You said what?
I said like the price point of my paintings went up in the gallery.
Mm,
So to me I was
okay.
just used to I mean I so worked through a gallery before, but I ain't never had nothing up in there for as much as it's up in there for now. So that was
Right. Master said price went up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. I feel you.
um the rest for me is really more so my daughter. You know what I mean? Like she doing good in school. She excelling, getting promoted in different classes. Stuff like that is what I kind of like value more than anything. So can you hear me?
I feel you on that one too.
Those the biggest things for me. At least things that I care about, should I
It's
say?
loading. It says it's loading. Okay. I feel like I've really come to terms and been comfortable with the art of it's okay, of saying it's okay. Like, for example, there was a time in my life where, in case you guys don't know this about me, I'm a little over the top, just a tad, not too much, just a tad. And I like to be able to provide my daughter with certain things, and sometimes it could be considered over the like not necessary. And I just recall when my daughter turned 4, I was so depressed because like my money had got cut off, so all the plans that I had I couldn't do, but I had already like done so much, and I was able to provide her with a nice seafood boil for her birthday that year. But I was so like sad and depressed because I didn't have the money to do exactly what I wanted to do for her birthday. And fast forward to now, I had different plans that I wanted to do, but then being able to get back and forth to dialysis ended up taking precedence. So I couldn't go all out and do extra, but instead of me feeling that lack and feeling um depressed about it, anxiety, I just adjusted and refocused and did what I could do. And I said it's okay. And she had so much fun and it was amazing. So I think all that really matters to kids is just that you're there at the end of the day, right? Especially, when you have sickle cell, because, you know, at 10, my daughter knows, thankfully, I've never missed one of her birthdays. I've never been in a hospital during her birthday, even if I had to be sick until the day after. I've literally went to the hospital the day after her birthday a couple of years in a row, but I've never been too sick to the point where I couldn't even make her birthday. So that's a blessing, right? But um, I've literally, like, I know that she knows how much my presence is a blessing when I am present. She knows that, there's like last year, this time, I was in a hospital. I was going back and forth in and out the hospital at this time. Year before that, hospital. Year before that, hospital, or recovering from the hospital. Year before that, hospital. Year before that, hospital. So just to be out around this time now, I know it means something to her, more so than it would a person that isn't used to not having their parent around during certain times of year, because honestly, this is one of the worst times of year for me, and this is the best I've felt in a very long time. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, a lot of people take
You got
stuff for
anything else you
granted.
want to say to people? They do. They do. Especially people's presence,
Yeah.
their ability to just be there.
Yeah. Man. Listen, I probably have to let you talk to this kid over here, cause I'm telling you, boy. Kids take you for granted. I be happy to tell this girl, everybody ain't got the daddy you got. For real. Uh, man.
Hmm.
Everybody ain't got that.
Yep. And it's true. A lot of people's daddies walking around here trifling, super trifling, and okay with it. They good with it.
Hey,
Wild. I never understand it. Mothers too. I never understand it. But
yeah,
that's just me.
it's easier for a lot of people to just walk away, give up, or man, I be trying to tell this girl, and I told her, I said, see, she old enough now where I can talk to her. You know what I mean? Who I can talk to her, but I tell her like, you'll respect my presence more when it's no longer available to you. And honestly, I think that's just shit. The life of most men anyway. That most people respect their presence more when they're gone.
Mm-hmm. That's anybody though, man, woman. You know, that's an unfortunate truth. People feel like they have so much time to, to the point where they don't appreciate a person or the person's time. And it's just not true. It's just not realistic. That's why I tell all my friends I love them. That's why I tell everybody I care about that I care. That's why I give people their flowers while they're here. So if anything should happen, people know how I felt.
Yeah.
You know? Because at the end of the day, listen, I tell you about yourself and I tell you about yourself. Whichever one works for you is good for me.
And you know what? When you with what you
But what
just
I
said,
will refuse is stress.
with what you just said, right? It's crazy to me, like, and not kids either. I'm talking about just like people in general. How it'd be so much
Mm-hmm.
easier for people to curse you out versus tell you how dope you are. Like people
That's true.
cut you out in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? But
A
you
person
rarely
would
hear people
rather
praise.
pretend you're competition than to just say, you know what, you inspire me. I'm
Exactly.
inspired by you, and it inspired me to do this. Like, oh, I could appreciate something like that. What I can't appreciate is a person pretending. First of all, I'm not in competition with nobody but myself. There is no competition. There's not. I'm sorry. If you thought you were competition with me, you're crazy. You need to be locked up somewhere and fed medication every 2 hours.
Facts.
There's just no way that you could ever believe in that you're my competition. Like, that's wild. Um, the only person I'm in competition with is the person in the mirror. That's
Man.
it. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday, better than I was last month, better than I was a year ago. And the only time I fail is when I don't be better than myself, my past self. And then I hold myself accountable and keep it pushing and do better. But there will never be a time where I'm like, oh, that's my competition. I can't. What? Who? You need to be locked up, committed. If you think you're my competition, I'm sorry, you're crazy. And I said it. I did. I don't care.
I, man, I only wake up to me, man.
But no, I do hesitate. I used to be in a rush to tell a person negatively about themselves, but I do hesitate now because I'm like, words have power, and I know that I could really read a person if I wanted to listen. I could say things that will have people thinking about it for years, and I know it. I know it. When you have that type of power, you got to acknowledge that and not be so hasty in a haste to release that on people, basically.
Hey, what's
Because
up this
listen,
year?
I understand stuff. Huh?
We should try a book club this year. I've been reading this book, right? I read a lot of books, but this particular
Mm-hmm.
book this particular book I've been reading called Four Agreements. It talk about like what you just was talking about. It's pretty dope. Like
Okay, yeah,
about,
that sounds
about like
good.
about like how your words, you know what I'm saying? You can use your words like basically as a curse or to help somebody out of a curse. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
somebody else put them in. Uh, and it's really based off of whatever you choose to agree to in your life. For instance, if I tell you you ugly and you hold on to that, then that's what you chose to agree to. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I might tell you that, right, and you might hold on to that for 2 years, and then 2.5 years from now, you might get another person that come and say, "Nah, man, he was tripping. You beautiful," and they lift the curse. You know, that's if you choose to believe it. But one thing that was real big about that, what I was reading was it said how a lot of times people mind is only fertile to negativity, and I was like,
Mm.
dang, that's real. Like people's mind is only fertile to negativity, and that is what we accept. Even if you look at the internet, right? That's what the algorithm holds the most is negativity. So everything that's allowed to
Well,
grow,
I will say this. No, because although the algorithm, yes, is a setup essentially to say, oh, the negativity is going to get the most support. I have, like, when I'm on my Facebook, my vibe be different. Okay, I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know what y'all like to watching in reels and stuff. But I get a lot of motivational talk. I get a lot of spiritual and talk about God. I get a lot of those type of vibes, a lot of
right,
positivity. And that's because that's what I accept. Like you just said, that's what I accept into my I don't accept negativity. Even if I give it attention for a brief split second, it's not what is on my like radar. It's not what I soak in daily, you know?
right. So
So
when I'm, when I'm
I
speaking on
get
this,
that.
when I'm speaking on this, like, cause that's what come up with mine too, right? If I go to my YouTube, I had to show my daughter that too. Like, I show her like, cause I don't let her deal with like social media and all that. You be doing homework while you scrolling. That ain't, it's scrolling ain't possible for her. Um, but like I show, like this is what you see that I'm looking at because this is what I value. Like if you really want to know about a person, look through their YouTube. You'll see. You'll see. And
Mm-hmm.
if a person is a cook, 9 times out of 10, they got a million recipes lined up on their YouTube stuff. If a person like
Mm-hmm.
intellectual stuff, art is gonna be something in there about it. You know what I mean? Like whatever they like is gonna be something in their YouTube about it. But I'm saying though, when people go viral and all of that, it's 9 times out of 10 off some goofy stuff. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
definitely.
The algorithm.
Like hide your kids, hide your wife. Or ain't nobody got time for that. Stuff like that. But unfortunately, well, no, I'll say fortunately, it's your choice on what you choose to soak in, what you choose to be your everyday.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. Like you said, if you go and look at my history on YouTube, you're gonna see a whole bunch of funny videos. You're gonna see some skits, funny skits, whatever. You're gonna see some movies. You're gonna see some conspiracy theory. You're gonna see a plethora of different things that ain't got nothing to do with what's those shows, Bad Boys or whatever, and uh, I don't know all the other stuff. Listen, I just don't got the time.
You gonna
First of
see a
all,
gang
I'm a
of how
recovering. You gonna see what?
a gang of how-to videos on mine.
Mm-hmm. Mine too. But yeah, like I can't sit there, like I can't watch fighting all the time because I have worked so hard to not be that angry person that's just gonna I'm not gonna say what I really want to say, but that's gonna really hurt somebody. I'm gonna say that. So, you know, I don't need to put those things back into my atmosphere because then I'm more prone to violence if I do that. I'll wake up and choose violence, and I don't need that in my life. Nobody wants to go to prison, you know?
I'm gonna say this: that if people violent right now over 30, uh, that's probably because they was scary back in the day, so it's safe now to be violent because they don't nobody else over 30 really want to be like that. So yeah, that's probably that.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, but sometimes you get the right one. Like somebody talking to me crazy, you really got the right one. I'm gonna need you to back up. I'm gonna need you to back up. Cause you gonna mess around and you gonna find out. Don't let this sickle cell and kidney issues fool you, baby. You gonna end up in a situation. And I don't need those problems. You know, I don't want those problems, nor do I need them. It isn't cute. It isn't funny. It isn't entertaining. It is literally, you know, a part of me. For a long time, I thought I had to bury that part, but really, I have to heal that part of me, expose it so that I can move forward and grow. And I think that's what I've been doing for a while now. Because I be catching people that really be trying to catch me up. And I be like, woof, okay.
Yeah.
I have a daughter. I have a daughter. I have a daughter. I can't go to prison. I have to keep saying that in my head just to be like, okay, you could be the punk today. Be the punk. Walk away. If they put their hands on you, it's a wrap. Don't put your hands on me. Put your hands on me. You gonna mess around and find out. As long as I don't care what you say to me. I don't care. Words mean nothing to me. I said that earlier. So I don't care. But if you put your hands on me, you better listen. You better have an exit strategy. You better do some serious harm to me to get me to not retaliate. Let's just put it like that. So,
Yeah.
you have anything else you would like to say before we go?
Nah. I would like to. We gotta discuss that. We gotta see what's up with the book thing. I think that'd be cool. A cool thing to do with people.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
If people in this whack ass community, you know.
Yeah, a book
Hey,
club. I would love that. Master.
nah, man, they just be blowing.
I think that would
Everybody,
be
listen. What blew me is that everybody wants something better, but don't nobody want to do nothing to help it be better, right? Like even if we don't help it be better for me and you, might not ever see it be better, right? But it should be able to be better
mm-hmm.
for people behind us that come after us.
Right. Right.
You know, like so. I can't stand that. That's why I be going hard.
Absolutely.
That's why I be going hard on these people, and especially the men. Because when you look at all of the groups, they mostly ran by women.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like men have really, stepped up in these past couple years. I know you guys did a wonderful job in September for the men's panel. Y'all be speaking out and doing
Hey,
stuff.
hey, hey, stop. Four or five men ain't men. Like 4 or 5 people ain't like it's too many people in the community for it to only be the same. Maybe 6. I'm stretching it. Let's just go with 8. It's too many people for it to be the same 8 people.
I
But it,
understand your frustrations. I do because
but if we was to talk about some bullshit, then it'd be you know everybody will come out the woodwork.
hmm
Mugs that ain't never
that's the
said nothing.
unfortunate truth. Yeah,
You
it's
like
just
you,
something that people need to feel within themselves.
you like homie, you had your stuff on mute all this time, and now there's something negative come up. You you talking?
Now you got something to say, okay? When it's drama, okay.
Yeah, right.
I see where your head is at. But
Right.
I really feel like it's also just when you deal with this illness, there's a lot of frustration that doesn't get to be released, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Like it's frustration in having this illness, it's frustration in not being understood, it's frustration in going to just receive proper care and being treated like you just want drugs. It's frustration and
Yeah, but I feel like that shit is excuse shit. And what I mean by that is everybody's frustration is everybody got an attitude problem until the police pull up, right? If your attitude
I
problem is
still be having an attitude
I be
problem.
listen, I be telling people who be talking about, yeah, man, I'm bipolar. Man, show me you bipolar when the police pull up. Don't show me you bipolar, man, just when it's safe to be bipolar. I don't want to see that. I want to see the bipolarness when it's dangerous to be bipolar. Show me the bipolarness then. Man, I can't control my temper. My fault, I can't control my temper. But yes, sir, no, sir, when the police pull up. I don't want to hear that. If you ain't never spazzed out on the police, nothing like that, man. You just as calm as they come. Yeah, you just as calm as they come, bro. If you ain't never went
Like
in, went
it's
crazy on the police, bro, none of that type stuff. If you ain't got a record, none of that type stuff, dog. Uh, uh, um, where they pulling you
is
over and
that the only way to gauge?
yeah, you're a saint for real. You just playing this role because you know people gonna stop you or not gonna do nothing like. So I don't accept this community is just so uh attitudinal. No, they know how to calm their asses down. They ain't been in and out of jail. Yeah, attitudinal niggas they be in and out of jail. Yeah, so I don't give people that excuse. No, it's the excuse.
I just try. It's not an excuse. I just try to give people grace. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Listen, don't come for me unless I send for you. It's not
And see,
safe.
listen, I'm cool with it
I'm
being
gonna say
women,
that
right?
now.
I'm cool with it
So,
being women, right? But I'm talking about men though, I'm talking about men. Like, so that's what we was talking about. Like the men not doing nothing for real. Women in this community do a lot.
yeah. If only we could do it all together.
That'll be dope.
That's the challenge.
I
hmm
agree. You gonna see me. You gonna see AR, uh shit, Dorian. You gonna see Ken, KC, I mean, uh, you gonna see what's buddy name from California too, the one who was in the military, the
Ferran?
language man, Ferran. You gonna see Ferran? Shit, you.
Yeah.
Some of the names is just common. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just these are the common names that you gonna see. I see that one dude. I think the preacher dude. He doing more. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain people that you know you can call.
Yeah. But that's, that I feel like you guys are opening doors for the next generation to come and say, okay, they're doing it. So it may not be people in our generation before us, but I'm pretty sure the people coming up behind us, the men coming behind us, seeing you men who are dedicated to using your voice, bringing awareness and advocacy, it does make a difference, whether you know it or not. You know, whether you understand that it's somebody probably going to watch this live today or tomorrow and be like, oh my God, like, I want to do that.
Yeah, and that's gonna be dope.
And there are some people who just don't know how and where to start. Yeah. And it's possible. It's not impossible. This isn't, something we just, you know, like to do every now and again. No, this is something that I know ultimately means something. If I only reach one person, I don't care how many people. I care that at least one person receives the message that I have. That's it. When I get views, cool. When I don't care. Because if at least one person was like, wow, that really resonated, that really means something to me, that's all that matters.
You want to know who I care about reaching the absolute most?
So,
The doctors and the nurses. A doctor
who?
or I think those. I think those for me is like kind of like the ultimate. You know what I mean? To get into a doctor or a nurse head to a point where you could change their behavior. Not necessarily for me, but just a conversation that might have them on the next shift or when I leave say, man, I never looked at that like that.
Yeah, I love that too, honestly. Yeah, definitely. Even like being in dialysis, I could tell they don't know how to understand that sickle cell and kidney failure, two totally different beasts. And they try to, be very delicate with the kidney failure, and they're like, oh, nothing else matters. But that's not true, because let me tell you something. Don't get me wrong. Kidney failure is a beast. But listen here. Sickle cell though, it's a different beast altogether, because it's not just pain. You can go blind, you can go deaf, you can lose, your joints. You can it, listen.
Imani.
Like the kidneys is the only thing that could affect. It's like, no, it's the heart, it's the liver, it's the lungs, it's every single
Hurry up.
thing. So I feel like, made that very clear with even my dialysis nurses. Like, they're,
I'm sorry,
and it's
Sage.
crazy
I'm
because I'm not
asking
the
you.
only patient there. Huh?
It sounds like I'll be probably cutting you off, but I think we just got a delay. Um, I was just saying that I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask you to repeat yourself about all of the stuff that sickle cell affect, though, because I want this kid here to hear this. Sometimes the
Oh
parent
yeah.
can't.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like I said, sickle cell can cause you to go blind. It can cause you to go deaf. It can affect your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, your heart, your lungs. It's not nothing safe when it comes to sickle cell. All like you know how it's like, oh, that's off limits. Sickle cell's not gonna go there. Sickle cell don't care. Sickle cell gonna do what it want to do regardless. And if you're not careful and conscious in what you're doing, even if you're dealing with another illness, like I said, dealing with kidney failure, they try to cater to just that with, and I understand because it's a dialysis center, but no, because you're catering to something that's only a an effect, a side effect, not a side effect, but a complication of the bigger beast that lives in my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot be like, oh no, we're not worried about sickle cell because that's insane, literally. you know? And I feel
Yeah,
like I'm getting that message across to them. And that's
you
really
like
what matters because listen, today is my kidneys. That's why I'm like, I'm finna do all the vitamins, all of whatever I need to do because sickle cell cannot have my eyes. It cannot have my ears. It cannot have my brain. It could try to take so much from you that you feel like you don't have anything. But that's just not true. You just have to try to keep going. It could always be worse, unfortunately.
yeah. You got to fight for the
I feel
things
like
you.
everybody's dealing with some sort of, especially the older you get, like there's something, like there's a bigger fight at hand, if that makes sense. Like sickle cell takes a toll on your body for so long. There's something going to happen. Unfortunately, I'm not claiming that on nobody's life. I'm just saying, for me, it's my kidneys. For another person, it might be their eyes. For another person, it might be their ears. But that doesn't mean one person is worse off than the other. It means sickle cell is just a very vicious beast that needs to be tamed, or else, literally. So that's just my opinion and views on the situation at hand. You know,
Man has been gallstone. Luckily for
huh?
me, I said man has been gallstones. Luckily for me, they don't really bother me though. So
Mm,
I still have my gallbladder because they don't really. I'm not gonna get it taken out of it. Ain't really bothering me.
right. Yeah,
But
I've had my
yeah,
gallbladder
she had
taken
us
out.
taken out. She had us taken out when she was like 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They I think I don't
Again.
and I shouldn't have allowed it.
All right. So, is there anything you want to say before we wrap this on up?
Nah, not really. Bruce Leroy out.
Well, I just really want to say I appreciate and love everyone. I'm not holding any grudges. If I don't like you, I just don't like you. It's not going to change, but I'm not holding no grudge. Let me stop being a butthole. Um, but ultimately, I just want everybody to be happy and to walk in their purpose, whatever that means for you. And I've said my positive words of wisdom for years now. And I truly, truly mean it because it's truly true. you do. I really hope that there are people who take that to heart to really like repeat that in your head, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Because in this fight, in this advocacy game, that's really what it is. Some people right now are like, oh no, I can't start my advocacy because I don't have this and I don't have that and I don't know the right people. Start where you are. I'm telling you, because that's what I did. I remember I was like, oh, I can't do this because I don't have the camera I want. I stopped making excuses for myself and I used what I had. Use what you have. Okay? And then you may not be able to change the world, you may not be able to change the hearts of many, but you can make a positive change, even if it's in yourself, even if it's just with you. Do what you can. That's all. Okay? Enjoy y'all New Year's. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. You can always reach out to me if need be, if you need to talk or anything. I will reiterate what I said earlier this year. I am not the fairy godmother of sickle cell, though. So don't reach out to me with these crazy requests. I can't help you. Okay.
Nah,
I am not the
man,
fairy godmother of sickle cell.
man,
but
that's a real one right
but
there.
other than that, I'm just saying, everybody's
Man,
struggling.
one thing,
Everybody going through. Everybody has something that they have to go through. So acknowledge that and give everyone some grace. And don't have these wild expectations just because a person is an advocate. That's all I'm saying.
man.
But other than
Um,
that, you all have a beautiful, wonderful last day of the year. And until next time, folks, peace. Why won't it end? Okay, there we go.